We have some breaking news during the show, and we've been waiting for this one. The Commanders are officially trading running back Brian Robinson to the 49ers in exchange for a 2026 sixth-round pick. So obviously not a big return here for a running back that is, I believe, entering a contract year here in Brian Robinson. But Jay, as somebody who's been super high on Christian McCaffrey, what do you think of the move of the Niners getting some? It feels like they had to have some kind of depth because they were one McCaffrey injury away from okay, all our other guys are hurt too. And this cost is nothing.
Yeah, there's one injury away from Isaac Guerrero, who's not ready to be a number one running back for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. And even though it's not him specifically, but different variations on the Patrick Taylor experience off of last year. So I think that more this, and I don't think this signals anything necessarily about Christian McCaffrey's health.
It's not stealing into McCaffrey's workload.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's more just an acknowledgement that, Christian McCaffrey's 29 years old. He's dealt with all these injuries, and there is, a material chance that he gets hurt. And if he does get hurt, Brian Robinson is a better option than what they had previously on the roster. And to get him for a sixth-round pick, a guy who's shown, who was produced at a really high NFL level when he's been out there healthy. I think it's just protection against McCaffrey and, a different look sometimes. I think, there were games 2 years ago where McCaffrey's playing 95% of the snaps. And I think that is not going to repeat, but that's not being baked into his ADP. So I don't think this changes much, but certainly makes Brian Robinson the insurance answer for McCaffrey.
Good comment on YouTube from Julio, who said, could be to have CMC out more for receptions and B-Rob in the backfield. My take on that is if you have a 2nd and 2 and you want somebody to just smash through the A-gap, sometimes you'd like that to be Brian Robinson, where McCaffrey is such a dynamic threat, not only as an outside runner, but as a receiver, that maybe this is also a way to preserve McCaffrey and actually make his output more efficient and explosive while finding a way to keep him healthy for the long course of a season, not the short term.
Yeah, I think I think Brian Robinson's going to largely play the Elijah Mitchell role from 2 years ago where, McCaffrey, if it's a 27-10 game in the fourth quarter and it's out of hand but not completely out of hand. Previously they might have felt like, we've got to keep Christian in there. Now it's more like, okay, Brian Robinson can get these drives. He's still a reliable running back and a better option than what they had.
Comment section jumping for joy at the prospects of Bill Croskey-Merritt on the Commanders now, which, listen, we can kind of jump to this one here. I mean, we heard from Commanders head coach Dan Quinn, who indicated Chris Rodriguez Jr. is likely to handle short yardage and goal line rushing duties. So I know everybody's really, really excited right now about Bill Croskey. But Jay, it also sounds like Chris Rodriguez isn't going anywhere either. And we've seen this kind of play out with him working in front of Croskey during most of the preseason as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very frustrating backfield from a fantasy perspective and a very effective one from an NFL perspective, where just having Jaden Daniels as your quarterback is such a cheat code for rushing efficiency across the board. Austin Eckler is obviously going to get worked in a ton, and I think that week to week it's going to depend a lot on just touchdown variance and getting goal line carries, but I don't think anyone is super appealing in terms of, I don't think there's going to be any top 12 running back that comes out of Washington this season. Then it's going to be 3 guys who are all hyper efficient but with limited usage.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.